Welcome to the Love in Progress podcast, where we deep dive into self-reflection and healing as a catalyst for better relationships and leadership. I am your host and educator, Neena, and I'm here to be a guide to you in that process. Let's get started. All right. Welcome everybody back to the podcast. This topic today is one that I feel like is so fundamental, so primary in understanding just how much your self-beliefs and self-compassion and self-grace really reflect back on the environment that you're in and the relationships that you're in, probably better than anything else I'm going to teach you. So really dang excited for this content today. And it's pretty simple, but I promise you it could be life-changing for you. So I want you to just imagine a scenario here. I'm sitting in bed. It's the first thing in morning. I'm doing my journaling, affirmations, going through my own mindset flow like I usually do. My husband walks into the room and he has a tray of breakfast. It's got flowers on it and it's just this beautiful spread. I mean, really a nice breakfast. And he brings it over to me. I have an opportunity in this moment to reflect back what my beliefs are, one, about myself, and two, about what he is or who he is. What is he exemplifying to me in this moment? And I want to give you a clear example of why this is impacting so much in your relationships. And I'm hoping it'll be like a little aha moment for you. But let's just say before my husband ever enters the room, I'm going through my morning sequence and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Neena, you are really sucking it up these days. You're not hitting your goals. You're really struggling with XYZ as far as your performance and your accomplishments. Man, I'm rehearsing from the day before all the ways that I fell short, and I'm being self-critical. The moment he comes in, I'm interpreting it from exactly that lens point of, I don't deserve goodness. I don't deserve this affection. I don't deserve this praise. And I've immediately filtered a very quality experience, one that could be perceived potentially as very loving, as not that. It then becomes self-deprecating. And, again, playing out this scenario with my belief, with my filter, with my glasses of sorts in my perception and looking at that situation, almost as if, let's just say I have a green lens looking at this situation, everything changes color. Everything within my scope and view is perceived based on that belief. And, if my husband were to look at me, I would probably have disdain on my face. I would probably look defeated or, sad. And he could then in turn respond back to whatever he's seeing personified on my face, when really it's just a reflection of what I believe I deserve. Now, I'm hoping that you're sitting there thinking, wow, I do this in my life. The stories I tell about myself keep me from having access to love, keep me from experiencing a full spectrum and depth of joy and love from the people that care about me most, because I'm constantly filtering that reality with a lens that I don't deserve it, that I'm not worthy of it, that for some reason I haven't earned it, which is junk. That is garbage. And yet we sit with these filters all the time. Now, this is a meager example, but I want to give it a couple more different ways so that you can understand how this is also showing up potentially in your life. So let's say, for instance, I'm in a good place. I have this wonderful experience with myself. I've gone through my affirmations, released some of the disappointments from the day before, started the day fresh. I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I'm filled with affirmations and good thoughts about myself. And I've just started out on the right foot. I have a beautiful rosy colored glasses on. Okay. And yet I hold a belief that my husband doesn't care about me, that my husband is self-centered, that he's constantly looking out for himself, and that overall, he doesn't show relentless, undying love for me. Now, when he enters the room, my friends, with this beautiful spread, this beautiful plate of breakfast goodness and sincerity, and yet I hold the belief that I shared with you before, what do you think I'm going to see in this moment? What is the filter then? What does he want? That's the filter. That's what I'm thinking. Well, why is he doing this? What is he getting out of it? He's going to ask me for something, right? And I look at it based on a tainted perspective, a tainted view, all because I held a belief around what this could mean. So any situation, it may play out the same way, can be interpreted in so many different ways based on what I believe. So let's take it a third step, shall we? I, again, have a great morning, go through my sequence, feeling amped, confident about myself, and I have a belief that my husband loves me. He's incredibly compassionate. He's connective. He's emotionally attentive, that he loves and cares for me deeply. He walks into the room. What is my emotion? What's my response? Well, I have a joyful response. I'm elated. I'm warm and feeling compassionate and loving towards him. I have a great response because I'm looking at this situation through the filter of self-love and other love. I have that space and that expansion for him based on the belief that I've built around him. Now, listen, the exact same scenario, the actual actions externally were all the exact same. My husband made breakfast, no matter his motivation. He brought it into me, and yet it could be interpreted in this example 3 different ways. But truthfully, I'm sure you can think of 100 ways with which this situation could be interpreted based on one, where I was with my own personal self-trust and self-compassion and the ability to receive love, but 2, the perception I have of the people who are offering love to me. And this is key, my friends. This is what I really want you to start looking at is 1, am I putting up barriers with which I can receive love based on what I believe I should receive? Many a times we do that inadvertently, and we don't catch ourselves unless we're challenged on it. So I want to challenge you in this moment. Are there times when you are blocking off the receptors to be able to receive love because you don't believe that you deserve it? Now, we're going to go into some strategies on how you can break down those barriers, okay? But I want to just kind of give you this filtering concept and lesson as a foundation, one for yourself, but also next here on your relationship. So then thinking about that step further, when my husband comes into the room, I can make up any story I want, but I have a tendency to make up the story about what his action means based on the filter that I have offered about his character, around what I believe is his true nature. And based on that, I then start to create a new reality. I create a filtration system that helps me to interpret what I'm seeing to match my beliefs. So that's why it's so important for us to just take a beat and say, what is the story I'm telling myself when I'm seeing these things play out in real life, in real time, in real circumstances in my life? And how is that affecting the quality and the depth of my relationships? And this is a powerful element that you can implement in lots of different situations. And this is not my goal to create or cultivate self-shame. It's just an increased awareness, because I truly believe that awareness is the first step of transformation. And when we can identify these small little tendencies that we're implementing, probably out of habit, then we can come in and rectify and change those as we get curious and non-judgmental and helping to shift those perspectives. So that's the lesson I wanted to offer you today. I hope that it is of value. Really, as you're looking at situations, take a beat and say, what is my self-perception in this moment? Am I pinching off the ability to be loved and to receive love and to believe that I am worthy of that love? And 2, what are the stories, lenses, filters that I'm placing on the people around me based on what I believe their character traits are that can potentially be unfairly exemplified and unified across many situations where it may just not be true? And looking at those stories and encouraging yourself to find the good, to find the connection, to find the love, and to give people greater self-grace. I do believe that your ability to offer grace and self-compassion comes truly from a place of, am I offering that to myself first and foremost? And as we begin to practice that with ourselves, we absolutely cultivate better compassion and grace for others. Absolutely. But we're also able to look back at how we're perceiving others based on our personal belief structures that may be a hindrance to our ability to connect and to feel deeply loved. So thanks so much for joining me on the episode today. I hope that you're helping yourself along this process in understanding and identifying ways that you can further receive and understand and cultivate love in your life as you work on the inside work. That self-love and self-compassion is so key in generating and cultivating quality relationships and situations with which you feel joy and connection to the people and the experiences around you. So again, wishing you well, hoping you'll live well, look well, and be well today. And I'll see you on the next episode.